Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yay, thumbs up for that. Well, it's a brand new day for me. You have likely, no matter where you are in the world, likely have been having your day for some time. Being on the west coast of the United States, I'm within a couple time zones of the thing that splits a new day from the old day. Most of the world has had their day. So depending on where you're watching this, you've had your day. It's not morning anymore. But for me, it is 7:33. It's a bit later than I like to get started, but we're going to go into the first topic based on that. Hokey SMOKES. Yesterday was a warm day. Toward the evening, first part of the day, cooler, and that's fine. Second half of the day became much warmer. And then when I went to bed, a lot of heat radiating because, hey, it had become very warm in the evening. So I went to bed at 10:30. And at 12:30, I was up and out of bed. I was wide awake. I had the lower half of my body I keep uncovered because if I get too warm, my legs cramp. So I keep the sheet of my bed rolled up so that from my mid-thighs down approximately, I am uncovered. And so I was too cold for the lower half of my body. The upper half of my body, covered with just a sheet, was too warm. So I was freezing and too hot. But because I was too hot, my legs were threatening to cramp. And when my legs are threatening to cramp, it is like having an annoying child bothering you every few seconds while you're trying to fall asleep. Because my muscles from my mid-thigh down to all the way down to my toes are just jerking and pulling. It's like they're just going, oh, you're trying to sleep? Are you trying to sleep now? Okay. Are you still trying to sleep? Come on. Are you still trying to sleep? We can cramp. You want us to cramp? Oh, we'll cramp. We'll cramp. And then it's like, oh, momentarily as both legs just are right on the edge of major cramps. And then they just go, well, we could, but we're not going to. We could, but we're not going to right now. I mean, we could. Are you trying to sleep? Are you still trying to sleep? Do you want to sleep? So finally, I just went, oh my God. I was wide awake because of this. Closer to 3 o'clock is when I finally got to bed again. So I am tired. I am sleepy. Did not do well last night, especially since I can't get up on the edge of my bed and then dress because that puts a lot of stress on my legs and they'll cramp instantly. And I have a muscle in my right inner thigh that loves to cramp at times like that. So this morning, I'm moving upward and grabbing stuff so I can get myself dressed while sitting on the bed and then swing my feet over and put my feet quickly into my shoes. And as I was moving, all of a sudden, that muscle in my right thigh cramps. So I'm busy trying to make that stop. And then, of course, I've been having issues with my left leg, just suddenly cramping from the knee downward. And I have to somehow push, while I'm lying in bed, push that foot upward so that it stops to cramp. While that muscle in my right thigh is cramping, my left leg decides to cramp. So both legs, horrible. I'm trying to deal with the issue in my right thigh. And my left leg has to come, the foot needs to come back up this way so it'll stop cramping, but I can't because I'm dealing with the right thigh muscle cramping, and it was just no fun. So it's been joyous. If it just keeps getting hotter and hotter as time goes by, I don't know what's going to happen for me. So joyous on that one. So yeah, I am super duper tired. Just, not as tired as I was yesterday, because at least I got a little bit of sleep. And before that, I had gotten none. So hopefully it's not going to be too hot today. Oy vey. And of course, my housemates have been doing all sorts of stuff. One of my housemates, he likes to go fishing. She goes with because, they're couples and they try to share each other's interests. And so they had gone out to a semi-local lake-ish, pondish sort of thing. And there were all kinds of, they've been cutting the grass there like daily, so there was tons of fresh grass, all sorts of things like the Scotch broom and cottonwood. They say that they are reacting the way they are, like they got massive head colds because of allergies. I can only hope that it's just allergies, because when they started, they spent most of the day like hidden away in their room. And when they came down and started talking about how they've been doing poorly, sinus infections, I just pulled my mask out of my pocket and started getting ready to put it on while I was talking to them. So we'll see. Hopefully just allergies on their part. I mean, yeah, they were out and it's been bad pollen-wise. I'm doing better now trying to sleep. I don't need to take antihistamines before I go to bed. The head of my bed is still up, but I'm with just one drawer under there instead of 3 like I had before and nothing else. So I'm doing much better that way. I just don't want to get sick. I don't want to get... I've already suspect I've had the Delta variant. I don't want to get anything worse. Ugh. So, based on that, yesterday I did go walking. Still, of course, it was kind of early-ish. Excuse me. I left at about 7 o'clock-ish at night and went walkies, and that's good. I am hosed monetarily. I have about $10 left in food stamps and about $20 left in my checking account. And, well, it's what, the 24th today or the 25th? And so that's not wonderful. So hopefully everything is going to be okay monetarily. I've been buying the things that I need to buy, but it's joyous and wonderful. As a quick aside, I do have a PayPal if you'd like to help me out. I have a patronage that I'll talk more about at the end of the video. And of course, I have an Amazon wish list with stuff like cat food on it. So if you could look, that would be awesome. Do not feel obligated. Now, more things. Because one of the things that I did a lot of yesterday, because it's been a while since I've really talked about it, and actually been a while since I thought about it. Because as a quick aside, one of the things that has happened with my taking Ritalin a lot, not a lot, but I take 60 milligrams of Ritalin, generic Ritalin, methylphenidate hydrochloride for my ADHD, 20 milligrams 3 times a day. It is still hard to think, concentrate, focus, and remember. But it's possible. I can do it. I've spent 58 years before this unable to. So it's hard, but I can do it. So yesterday, there is another thing too I just want to talk about here. There's also another, one of the biggest reasons why I don't drink any alcohol at all is because I'm an active alcoholic and my liver's in really bad shape and the rest of my body is just damaged from alcohol. So drinking alcohol, not a good idea. There's also another good reason not to drink alcohol. When, like THC/cannabis, they work synergistically together. So when you drink alcohol, cannabis works better. And when you smoke cannabis, alcohol actually works better. The problem with alcohol and methylphenidate is when you drink alcohol, it chemically increases the level of Ritalin in your bloodstream. And that ain't good. So I'm not going to go drinking alcohol and boosting up the levels of stuff in my system because it can do bad things to you, the Ritalin, and I don't need to have like 30 or 40, the equivalent of 30 or 40 milligrams in my system when I just need 20. So, but it's nice to be able to think and focus and remember. And so, back to this. Yesterday, I did more thinking and stuff on the whole bone juice hurting world and various forms of reality, well, not reality, different universes and the way that they have to live, because there is the church of the one cosmic horror in this world. The cosmic horror, Asatorasi, or as it goes by, Sator, it collects knowledge for itself, selfishly. But this one universe, and all of the, it's still a normal universe, so it still splits and spawns. But there were a whole bunch of universes that before there were some critical failures in their formation, and things were just going to fall apart, but they sort of soap bubbled together into one big universe, and now everyone's still okay, but everyone has two types of histories. And so the church is very interested in this, because every single race, whether it is one of the major races or one of the minor races, has stated two histories. They have a history of being alone in the world. And then one day, everything changed without changing, because they all remembered being alone. But now they also remember not being alone, because suddenly they're not. So there's oral histories of being alone, and then suddenly you're not. And that's, the universes feel no great obligation to stitch things together in a fashion that quote unquote makes sense for people. And so when they soap bubbled together, the realities and universes just went, okay, how do we just smash them together? No real need to make things fit. It's, you're alive, now you're all in this world. So there are like 4 or 5 major races. There's the Dwarlen, the Elvandri, then there's the poor people of the Calendris, and then of course there are humans, but they are only a small portion of the story, where they're from a different continent and they've been expanding and they've made it to this continent. So now the humans are starting to show up. But of course the Elvandri are the nomadic surface dwelling dwarves. The Dwarlen, of course, are the subterranean fungal based elves. And the people of the Calendris, so of course, are just animate skeletons, because the magical zombie plague that killed everyone in the Calendris is slowly waking up, and they are trying to forge their own new society. They know what they are. They know that the people of the Calendris used to be them, and that when they were attacked by the plague that is them, everyone that used to live there died, and their bodies all rotted away, and they are just animate skeletons. But slowly this magical zombie plague is waking up, and so these people are just individuals where the plague inside of them has become sentient. Only it's not like, I'm a sentient plague, it's, I'm awake. There are other people like me. What is happening? And so they're trying to forge a new society. But the fungal Dwarlen are one of the big things that holds this world all together. And a lot of the races use a lot of the terms that the Dwarlen use. There are outposts that are known as San, S-A-N-J. And then as they get bigger and larger, going from outposts to small villages, to small towns, to cities, to a capital, it's just a modular language. So you have a San, a San-Ya, a San-Yad, a San-Yada, a San-Yadan, San-Yadana, San-Yadanak, San-Yadanaka, San-Yadanakan. And it just goes up like that. And so people refer to, especially out in this bone juice hurting village where the juice originates, they are close enough to the frontier that within a day's hard ride on a messenger horse, you can be out on the frontier where there's just scores of individual San, where they are just outposts where it's like one family, a group of external buildings, and then the dwarlen who live underneath. But then, you've got your Sanya, the small village, the Sanyad, and then it's like, and then we're far enough away from the, this area, Sanyadanak, that it takes a good week and some of hard ride on a messenger horse to get to civilization. So where they are is right in the middle, where life is hard, but not that hard. There are farms and such, so that if you're smart and you're just careful, you don't have to farm. You can just survive by doing work. And that's the world. More to come later, because right now I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though, of course, I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, and more, it's getting better all the time, but there is a functional limit one day. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, thumbs up and thank you. Patrick Morgan, greatly appreciate it. Ice Damon, always good to see you. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and thank you, good to see you as well. Black Sab Lives, thumbs up. And then we have the Venus System, greatly appreciated. Ricky Bettini, always good to see you in the comments, thumbs up and thank you. Sebastian, thumbs up. Big old worm, greatly appreciated. Zach Gucci, thumbs up. We have Milena Maynard, thumbs up. And Aiden Schultz, greatly appreciated. And a good idea. I was saying something quite odd. Made in Canada, glad you enjoyed, and thumbs up. Imaginara, who was very confused by my mirror of the pleasure H&R Prosetta thing, which they confused me too. Johnny K, greatly appreciated. MK, thumbs up. Boo, with a little smile, thumbs up and thank you. Dara O'Flanagan, I sure hope that I'm halfway close. And then we have Origami Boy H, thumbs up and thank you. Tyler J, how about that? Killing Spear X. And then there's Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Platinum Mace, thumbs up and thank you. Panther Johnson, thumbs up, and how about that? 24 different individual people who left comments in the last 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you so much. Get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text, and that's a very good thing. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of the people, that was hard to say, one of the people on this hopefully soon to be updated list, that would be beautiful and awesome. I went and derailed myself with all of the things that I just said there and got confused with. But if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well with things like cat food on it. If you could check it out, that would be very, very cool. Thumbs up and thank you. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And of course, if you could toss me a like, I remembered, that would be very cool. I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thank you very much. Don't feel obligated again. Just thumbs up if you do. Well, Hokey SMOKES. So hopefully I'm going to be creative today, get some writing done, have to do some recording and various things that I'm going to edit and render. So I'm going to be busy. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot. Ugh. And of course, since the Kofefe bug is still raging and killing around the world, and the Delta variant, which is like 100 times more contagious than the regular brand, is just raging out of control, and the Gamma variant is taking over, please maintain your social distancing. Wear a mask when you have to go out. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, get vaxxed if you can. Don't make this political. Just be safe and try to keep others safe. Please. So you take care. Have a great day today. We'll see you on the flip side. And that is, well, the definite thumbs up, I would think.